We have another educational program coming before us. That's the Middle College High School in New York City Public Schools. And here with us are Cecilia Cunningham and Janet Lieberman.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for the honor of being here today. When my colleague Janet Lieberman started the Middle College in 1972, she picked a name that was deliberately misleading. She called it Middle College to confuse people so that she could create something that didn't look like either a high school or a college. And Middle College is in the middle of the college. It's located in the middle of LaGuardia Community College. And educationally, it's somewhat of a middle passage between high school and college. At that time, it was the only systemic collaboration between higher education and the K-12 system that addressed at-risk youth. The startup of the Middle College required a board resolution from the Board of Higher Ed and the Board of Education in the city of New York. And Janet likes to tell the story that when she went to Albany to get their approval, it was the first time that the Department of Education and the Department of Higher Education ever sat in the same room together. Middle College High School is a high school in Western Queens, located on the campus of LaGuardia Community College for at-risk youth. It meets or exceeds all of the state and city requirements for graduation, and it's totally operated on a tax levy budget. High school students have access to college facilities and they take college classes while still in high school. The school is small by New York City standards, 500 that is, but it's very cost effective because we use all the major facilities of the college: the library, gym, science lab, computer labs, cafeteria, and auditorium. And when we're not in session, the college is using our classrooms. Class sizes are kept small because of the combination of students in college classes and out on one of 3 internships that they are required to do. Those internships contribute 200,000 hours of community service to New York City. In fact, we've got one in the controller's office and one in the mayor's office. The school is on a college class schedule so that the classes are small, and students have the opportunity to take college classes while still in high school, banking those credits for either transfer to another college or for graduation at LaGuardia. The structure of the Middle College represents a fundamental change in the way high school is structured for students. It foreshadows the future by letting them experience both college and work while still in high school. The question changes from where are you going to college to where are you going to college? And this is a fundamental shift for youngsters who have been identified as at risk. Our experience of placing students on internships and in college classes also provides another look at the standards-based movement that's currently under discussion. Now, does it work? We've got a 5% dropout rate for over 20 years. We have a 78% going on to college rate. Our students, in a study we did in '87, earned on average $10,000 more than their counterparts around this country. But the real reason it works is that it makes sense for kids. If you're over age, as many of our youngsters are because they've been left back, doesn't it make sense to go to a high school on a college campus where you're not going to stick out like a sore thumb? If you have not had opportunities to engage in high-level academic learning, shouldn't you be in smaller classes with longer periods? For students, I have never met a high school student who wants to be a dropout. So shouldn't they have experiences with success, both on the work site and in college before they even finish high school so that they know what's going to happen to them? You know, dropping out of high school was a problem in 1972. It's probably a bigger problem right now. The 90 census indicates that there are 1.5 million teenagers who are dropouts right this minute in our country. So it's a problem that we certainly have not totally addressed. Middle College provides a way to do this. We know it's replicable because there are 2 other middle colleges on the campus of LaGuardia Community College. There are 4 other at the City University in New York City, and there are 17 others around the country. It's a positive approach to needed reform rather than a deficit model of trying to fix up the existing high schools. It functions within the existing parameters and legal requirements of city and state regulations. It's economically efficient because of the shared facilities and because of the cost that it doesn't add to society of all those youngsters who stay in school and get jobs. It restores the faith in public education. Thank you.
Thank you. Nice, Sherman.
One of the fascinating things in reading the material is in regard to the negative criteria that you established at the beginning. It seems to me you really loaded it down with people who have a lot of problems, and yet you succeeded with it. Would you comment on that being a basis for selection?
Yes. Yeah, I think it's most important that we've taken this facility, the power of the site, of the college community site, which is usually for gifted kids, and we provided that for the kids who are most at risk.
One of the problems in a city like New York is when you do something that's innovative, everybody thinks you're going to cream the population, so that when we started a high school on a college campus, they didn't believe that we would take these kinds of kids. And we had to make sure that we loaded it with negative criteria so that we got everybody in the community to buy into the program. Otherwise, we would have had tremendous defensiveness on the part of the neighboring schools.
Jack?
I want to pursue that. Accepting all that, then what? Then what negative criteria did you apply?
The students.
How do you choose
Well,
kids?
we get 1,100 applicants for 100 students that we take in every year. So we have left the choice to the guidance counselors at the 8th grade level and guidance counselors in other high schools. And they are basically youngsters that have had high rates of absenteeism. They've had multiple academic failures or home social emotional problems that are identified by those counselors.
Could you describe the relationship between the college kids and the kids who are coming to high school, and what impact this has had upon the kids going to the college?
They all come from the same neighborhood, basically, and the college students act as positive role models. They're very little difference in age, and so they're going to school with people who live in their neighborhood, who have made it, who have valued college, and that definitely helps with the motivation and what would be the negative peer culture at that age, the negative teenage peer culture. It helps to improve it.
But does it lift in some ways the performance, or sort of enrich the experience of the kids in college itself?
In college?
Yes,
I
college.
think so, because it gives them a sense of sharing with the high school. Frequently now we have young people in the same family, some in college and some in high school, in the middle college. Also they share the same facilities, so they learn this cross-cultural and cross-age participation on the basketball court and in the pool and all the rest of it. And I think it makes for sensitivity on the part of the college-age kids, and it certainly makes for motivation for the high school kids.
Governor Roberts?
If I understood your comments and the numbers in the proposal or in the application, it said that you have 500 students annually.
We have 500 students in the school enrolled at any given time.
But you take 100 new ones?
About 100, yes.
So that means that some are staying more than a 4-year
Yes,
period?
20% stay beyond the 4 years. And if we're going to raise academic standards for kids, which we all want to do, we have to provide them with the time and the resources to be able to get it done, even though it's going to take some longer.
But in New York City, 100 kids out of the school population of high school kids is a very, very small number. For as long as the program has been in existence, is there a reason the numbers haven't grown past that, or have you just decided to keep it at that and not expand it beyond?
Yes, we've decided deliberately to keep it small. I think it's absolutely critical that you know that everybody who's in the school, and you can't do that once you go beyond 500. That accounts for a lot of the success. But there are in New York City 7 other middle colleges at the moment. Smallness is very important.
Well, and one of the things we would like to see is an expansion of this throughout the city and throughout the country. We know it works, and that's really why we're here.
But the magic is the relationship between college kids and high school kids being in essentially the same location, the interaction, in a sense, a model.
Well, part of it is, it's the collaboration with the college, and we also have that collaboration with the faculty from the college and the high school. There are team-taught courses where college faculty and high school faculty teach together. There are also opportunities for high school faculty to teach in the college's adjunct, so there's a crossover in many ways.